Society demands you spend your youth having the time of your life, while simultaneously building a flawless, high-earning career. That mixed messaging leaves most young adults completely paralyzed. You are caught in a tug-of-war between extreme hustle culture and toxic YOLO mentalities, unsure which path actually secures your future. Treating the years between 14 and 25 purely as an extended emotional playground is risky in a modern economy. The cost of living and the speed of the market do not pause while you figure things out. Traditional advice usually relies on guilt to get you to work hard, but we can look at this objectively. Your youth is a finite pool of capital that you must invest. This specific age bracket is a temporary, high-value investment period. Making short-term sacrifices right now is how you purchase your long-term autonomy. You are currently living in what we can call the asymmetrical leverage window. It is the single decade of your life defined by maximum physical energy and near-zero structural responsibility. This graph shows how age correlates directly with the cost of failure. Let's start by tracking the red line, which represents your daily adult responsibilities across your lifespan. Notice how the red line stays flat during your early teens and 20s, but right around age 25, it spikes dramatically as bills, mortgages, and family obligations take over. Now look at the green line, representing your capacity to take risks. It is at its absolute peak when you are 14, and it plummets downward at the exact moment those responsibilities rise. The shaded gap between these two lines from ages 14 to 25 is your leverage. This represents an unrepeatable opportunity to take massive risks with virtually no real-world consequences. Success during this window is not about avoiding mistakes. It is about failing as aggressively as possible while your lack of dependence keeps the actual penalty for starting over at its lowest point. To exploit this window, you have three specific investment vectors. The first is optimizing your daily attention and your social capital. The required input is high. You have to systematically cut out 70 trading short-term peer validation for the compounding interest of a rare skill set is the highest return on investment decision you can make at this age. The second investment vector is micro-financial compounding. The input requires you to eliminate daily, low-level financial habits. Cutting out fast food, eliminating cigarette smoking, or excessive subscriptions frees your baseline capital. Diverting those tiny amounts of money, even just 10 to 50 rupees a day, into equities or IPOs builds your mechanical knowledge of the markets. Bringing back our matrix, we evaluate micro-financial compounding. The outcome is real-world literacy, learning market mechanics and risk before managing a salary. The trade-off is sacrificing comforts and the cognitive load of self-teaching. The true value of investing at 18 is not the immediate monetary return. You are building the psychological discipline to manage money before the money manages you. The final investment vector is the risk premium, or high-frequency failure. The required input is actively pursuing intimidating goals, where you start at absolute zero. That means trying public speaking, launching a small business, or cold emailing industry mentors. To do this, you have to entirely abandon your ego and accept looking completely foolish as a beginner. Our matrix updates a final time for high-frequency failure. The outcome is desensitization to rejection, eradicating the fear of failure that paralyzes most adults. The trade-off is repeatedly bruising your ego and facing the emotional sting of public setbacks. Your ego is a strict limiting liability. Exchanging it right now for absolute resilience guarantees your adaptability in an unpredictable adult economy. Because your resources change as you age, executing all three vectors simultaneously is often counterproductive. A 14-year-old at home and a 24-year-old in their first job face different constraints. The age-action matrix balances habit building against capital deployment. Ages 14 to 18 focus on Vector 1, prioritizing health. 18 to 22 shift to Vector 3, seeking rejection to build career capital. 23 to 25 lock into Vector 2, fighting lifestyle creep and deploying capital. Applying the correct strategic focus to your exact age bracket prevents burnout, while maximizing the specific advantages you have right now. The overarching trade-off of this entire decade comes down to a single choice. You are deciding whether to trade the comfort of the crowd today for absolute autonomy tomorrow. Time moves forward regardless of the choice you make, and your inaction is a choice that compounds negatively. The poverty of an adult is often written by the wasted time of their youth. Regret is the heaviest tax you will ever pay on a mismanaged 20s. If you do not embrace calculated risks right now, when the only cost is your ego, you will be forced to take them later when the cost is your livelihood.